Part C. Directions. In this part of the test you will hear several short talks. After each talk you will hear some questions. The talks and the questions will not be repeated. After you hear a question, read the 4 possible answers in your test book and choose the best answer. Then, on your answer sheet, find the number of the question and fill in the space that corresponds to the letter of the answer you have chosen. Here is an example. On the recording you hear, "Listen to an instructor talk to his class about a television program."
I'd like to tell you about an interesting TV program that'll be shown this coming Thursday. It'll be on from 9 to 10 p.m. on Channel 4. It's part of a series called Mysteries of Human Biology. The subject of the program is the human brain, how it functions and how it can malfunction. Topics that will be covered are dreams, memory, and depression. These topics are illustrated with outstanding computer animation that makes the explanations easy to follow. Make an effort to see this show. Since we've been studying the nervous system in class, I know you'll find it very helpful.
Now, listen to a sample question. What is the main purpose of the program? In your test book, you read A. To demonstrate the latest use of computer graphics. B. To discuss the possibility of an economic depression. C. To explain the workings of the brain. D. To dramatize a famous mystery story. The best answer to the question, "What is the main purpose of the program?" is C. To explain the workings of the brain. Therefore, the correct choice is C. Now listen to another sample question. Why does the speaker recommend watching the program? In your test book, you read A. It is required of all science majors. B. It will never be shown again. C. It can help viewers improve their memory skills. D. It will help with coursework. The best answer to the question, "Why does the speaker recommend watching the program?" is D. It will help with coursework. Therefore, the correct choice is D. Remember, you are not allowed to take notes or write in your test book. Go on to the next page. Now we will begin Part C with the first talk. Questions 39 through 43. Listen to part of a lecture in an architecture class.
A very common type of house in North America is the Cape Cod house. While we're not sure that the style originated on Cape Cod, in southeastern Massachusetts, the large number of them built there gave the house its name. We don't know everything about its early development because very few of the oldest houses still stand, and only fragments of pictures and written descriptions have survived. We do know that the design of the Cape Cod house was especially well suited to Cape Cod's windy environment. Cape Cod, Massachusetts, is a peninsula that experiences very strong winds from the ocean, and Cape Cod houses are set close to the ground, with low-pitched roofs to withstand storms that might damage taller buildings. The house's design was also influenced by cold winter temperatures. Cape Cods have large fireplaces and small windows, and most of the windows face south to let in the warm sunlight. The way Cape Cod houses are designed also has to do with the circumstances of the people who started building them in North America about 400 years ago. These English settlers had little money, so their houses had to be relatively small and economical. And it's believed that they built houses somewhat like the ones they had left behind in England. The efficiency of its design has kept the Cape Cod around for almost 400 years, and given the spread of its popularity to other parts of the U.S., it's a style that'll probably be around for a while.
Number 39. What is the lecture mainly about? Number 40. According to the professor, where did the Cape Cod house get its name? Number 41. What factor influenced the design of the Cape Cod houses built on Cape Cod? Number 42. Why did the settlers mentioned by the professor build small homes? Number 43. What does the professor say will happen to the Cape Cod design in the future? Questions 44 through 46. Listen to part of a lecture in a zoology class.
In cold regions, some animals hibernate and spend most of the winter in a deep sleep. During hibernation, their body temperature and metabolic rates are lowered, which allows them to conserve energy and survive in cold climates. But recent research shows that some animals in other parts of the world, even in warm climates, also experience a state of dormancy. One of these animals is the gray mouse lemur of Madagascar. What's interesting about this little mammal is that during Madagascar's dry season, it routinely enters in and out of a state of dormancy. Since this happens daily, it's called daily torpor. Like reptiles, the gray mouse lemur's body temperature drops significantly during the night, then takes advantage of the sun's heat to rise again during the day. This makes the lemur seem like a cold-blooded reptile, but unlike reptiles, gray mouse lemurs can generate their own body heat. It's just that using the sun's heat is more efficient. During their daily torpor, they probably save up to 50% of their normal energy output. Now, it never gets very cold where the gray mouse lemur lives, but during Madagascar's dry season, the lemur's food sources become scarce. That's why it makes sense for the lemur to go into daily torpor, to save energy. So, zoologists have revised their thinking about dormancy. They view it not just as a strategy of animals in northern habitats for dealing with very cold temperatures, but rather as a more universal response to environmental stresses.
Number 44. What is the talk mainly about? Number 45. According to the professor, how do gray mouse lemurs benefit from torpor? Number 46. What have scientists realized from recent studies of animal dormancy? Questions 47 through 50. Listen to part of a lecture in a United States history class.
In the early 1800s, cotton was grown on plantations in the southern United States and was woven into cloth at textile mills in northeastern towns like Lowell, Massachusetts. Due to a shortage of workers, these textile mills mostly recruited young women from small local farms. These so-called mill girls, they didn't have many economic opportunities on the farm, and the idea of living in a city and earning regular wages appealed to them. Even though they worked very long hours, they enjoyed a measure of economic and social independence. Even so, the mills had a lot of power over the personal lives of these workers. Most of them lived in large boarding houses owned by the mills, and house supervisors enforced strict rules of conduct, like curfews, regulating when the women could go out. Textile mills in Lowell paid better wages than some others, but the work was demanding and the conditions sometimes unhealthy. When the workers tried to form labor unions, their bosses threatened to fire the women and have them blacklisted so nobody else would hire them. Even so, they went on strike twice in the 1830s to protest wage cuts and unhealthy working conditions. One labor organizer there was a woman named Sarah Bagley. Bagley edited a labor newspaper and spoke out on behalf of striking workers. In the end, though, Lowell's mill girls never did unionize, partly because the labor shortage ended with a great increase of European immigration in the 1840s.
Number 47. What is the talk mainly about? Number 48. Where did most of the female textile workers come from? Number 49. What was one complaint of the textile workers in Lowell? Number 50. Who was Sarah Bagley? This is the end of Section 1, Listening Comprehension. Stop work on Section 1. This is a reminder. At the end of the test, the supervisor will collect all of the test books. You may not leave until all of the test books have been collected. End of recording.